We were doing IRL. It was some old guy that told you to move seats. Was it? Yeah. That's all I remember is like, why did I snap on Paul? Because he's the one guy I like. I always regret that, and I never apologize. But like, geez, some names like, oh, Ross is in chat. Oh god. Anyways, this here,
Yeah.
if I met Logan, I would kick it with him. But this Logan is by far, I don't know if this is recent. Is this recent? Oh my god. This is the cringiest thing Logan's ever said. Listen, this is high level of cap. It's mind boggling.
And this whole conclusion of it all could really be applied in my life, to be honest with you, because dude, like, in case you didn't know, I got a fucking ego and I got pride, bro.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to put myself in that position where if I was there and someone's telling me to apologize, quite honestly, I'd be like, suck my dick, guy.
Yeah.
Like, and then who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So like, fuck, bro, props to you. Props.
Look at Dax, bro. Dax's face is like, are you fucking serious right now? Dax like, yo, he didn't just fucking. Yo, Mike is looking at the ground because he doesn't believe him, and Spencer can't fathom this, bro. This level of cap is like, Logan, you're an influencer. The first thing you think is they're gonna film me on the ground getting kicked.
That's a Chromebook with built-in virus protection, so you can click with confidence. With no more of this, and a lot more peace of mind. Move along, viruses. Switch to built-in virus protection. Switch to Chromebook.
Silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'm melting to you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime is the way I a tree frog. It's so deep, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I lie to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Inspired by State Farm's surprisingly great rates.
It's so cheap.
$250 out of $250 cents out of his Scrooge McDuck pile of money, right? And he's gonna be super upset about that. And he's thinking about it all night. He's like, I hope those people in Prime Stream, they don't do it. They don't fucking do it. Like, this is the thing that's going to set him on edge, right? So if you want to take that action, you want to show him up, use your Amazon Prime. Use it here, right? Where we talked about screwing over the rich all the time. We encourage screwing over the rich all the time. So use your Amazon Prime / Prime Gaming here on this community, right? But if you can't do that, well then give him money. Through a sub, or through gifting bits, or through gifting subs like J-Kick was so kind to do. Help out the channel, support what we're doing, what we're trying to build here. I can only do it with the kindness of individuals like you sitting at home. So, sub to the channel, gift bits or gift subs, right? Or resub. If you have a resubs also help out the hype tree, right? So if you got a resub ready to pop, use that resub or continue a sub. Like if you got a sub from one of our very, very kind donors, right? Then help us out. Then continue that sub, right? Into the future. Thank you, Thomas the Promise, for the 300 bits. Love to see it. Thank you, Thomas the Promise, for the 300 bits. Means a lot. Yes, we love our small, medium, large donors.
Hello.
They make this happen. So thank you, Thomas the Promise, for helping us out. We're a level 1 hype train because of Thomas. Thank you. Because of Jay. Because of who was the first one? Drippy FE and Be More before him, but it doesn't count for this hype train. But still, we're a level 1 hype train. Yeah, I know. Those two. A level 1 hype train. Level 1 hype train. 40% done. 57% left. Can we get to a level 2 hype train, right? Can we get to a level 2 hype train? Is it a possibility? Help us out. Anonymous Cheers throwing their their pocket change at us. We'll take it. We're shameless. Thank you for the 1 bit. Okay, sure. But if you want to actually see progress on this hype train, help us out a ton. Help us out by subbing or gifting bits, or gifting subs like Drippy Iffy just did. Thank you, Drippy Iffy, for the kindness, right? 33 subs and total love to see, love the support. Thank you so much, right? Putting us at 60%, 60% of level 1 hype train, 40% left. Only 40% left. Can we get to level 2 hype train? Is that a possibility? Who out there wants to invest in this community that we are building, that we are maintaining into the future, right? Yes, we come through on Thanksgiving. It don't matter. It don't matter. We're here. We're making content for you. We're doing that because we got that level of support, right? I say, Grandma, get the fuck out of my way. I gotta go stream, right? And I threw her baked ziti on the ground. Like, I'm enough of this shit, right? Like, I got my audience is waiting for me, right? I let her know, right? Pushed her down the stairs. Look, I gotta get to my computer, right? And you want to support that kind of behavior? Look, sub to the channel. like Aiko just said, thank you, Aiko, for subbing to the channel, right? And that's a fuck you to my grandma right there. Thank you, Aiko. Thank you for this. Oh my god. Thank you for the support. We're 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes left. Oh, this hype. We're 2.5 minutes after this hype train. 77% done because of the kindness of individuals like you, right? 23% left. Can we get to a level 2 hype train? Guys, we're almost there, all right? Oh man, you guys are great. Yeah, we're almost there. So help us out. Support the channel, right? Support the channel. Sub, gift bits, or gift subs. This is how we power it all, right? This is how we power it all. This is how we power these open panels. This is how we power our small councils we have on Saturdays, or all black everything, which we usually have on Thursday nights, but no one was going to show up, so we didn't really bother. Or on Mondays we have our Reverie Roundtable. If you like any of that content, if you want to see that content continue on into the future, right? Well, I need your help, need your support. Subs to channel, gift bits, or give subs, resub. You got it. I know you got those resub messages ready to pop, right? Use them on the channel. Help us out right now if you haven't done so yet. But yeah, we got a minute left. Can we get to a level 2 hype train? Need your help. Make it happen, right? Now this is how we get that support. Yeah. So or also, of course, we have our PayPal button. If you don't want to go through Twitch, got that option too, right? Help us out any way you can, so that I can keep coming back again and again, night after night, to give you the content that you demand, right? But I can only do it with kindness of individuals like.
Hello? I'm trying to do too much. Hello? Okay, so it's picking up from the thing, but I'm not hearing it in the headphones. Okay, now it's working.
तू छोरी फ्लावर पाउडर खुशबू आवे महकी महकी पहर पला जो चल चल तेरी लागे बहकी बहकी तू छोरी फ्लावर पाउडर
Summer ice around my neighbors, I'm a rock star. Foreign car, foreign bar, oh my god. VVS, diamond shining on my arm. Crashing Bentley coat, rolling off the bar. Summer ice around my neighbors, I'm a rock star. Foreign car, foreign bar, oh my god. VVS, diamond shining on my arm. Crashing Bentley coat, rolling off the bar.
Yeah, I was just in Miami. Yeah, guess who I fucked on the beach? Yeah, guess who I fucked on the beach? Yeah, guess who I fucked on the beach? Yeah, diamonds that's all on my teeth. Yeah, VVS all on my ring. Yeah, Chanel that's all on my feet. Yeah, that double C. Yeah, walking with that pocket rocket. Yeah, singing to your bitch like I'm Carl Thomas. Yeah, looking at your chain, boy, they false diamonds. Yeah, looking at my chain, boy, that's all diamonds. Yeah, I just went to 3P, spent like 5,000. Yeah, Cartier on my face, don't need no eye dotty. Yeah, hit that bitch from the side. Yeah, I side piper. Yeah, dabbing in the name of love like the Pied Piper. Yeah, like that's right, bitch. Better make that cash. Like that's right, bitch. Better shake that ass. Like that's right, bitch. That's right, bitch. Like that's right, bitch. That's right, bitch. Like left, right, bitch. Left, right, bitch. Like left, right, bitch. Left, right, bitch. Like that's right, bitch. Better shake that ass. That's right, bitch. Better make that cash.
Summer ice around my neighbors, I'm a rock star. Foreign car, foreign bar, oh my god. VVS, diamond shining on my arm. Crashing Bentley coat, rolling off the bar. Summer ice around my neighbors, I'm a rock star. Foreign car, foreign bar, oh my god. VVS, diamond shining on my arm. Crashing Bentley coat, rolling off the bar.
Left, right, bitch. Left, right, bitch. If a hoe can't get right, she get left, right, bitch. Left, right, bitch. Left, right, bitch. I got cars, yeah. Left, right, wheel. I got hoes, yeah. Left, right, bitch. I got thoughts, yeah. Left, right, trick. Switching bras, yeah. Damn, I'm on some shit. Put my dick up on her, now she calling me, ain't talking about no shit. Oh, I'm off the beam, moonwalking on my Michael Jackson shit. Okay, cool. Diamonds dancing on my wrist. Okay, boo, but my nigga did crip. Diamonds dancing like Beyonce got shots in your
Tips? Okay, that's a good point. Yes, they are tips, not donation. Tip if you like content. Thank you, Silk Killer. Oh, thank you for the kindness for subbing. We're at 90%. We have seconds left in the clock. Trying to make it to level 2 hype train. Seconds left. But Silk Killer is an awesome name, right? That's like a really badass name. Triple H, thank you for having us out. Pushing us over the edge. Of 34 subs in total. But one more sub on the power. Thank you for that. Thank you. And Silk Killer, thank you. Welcome to the crew, right? Enjoy your emotes. And thank you for being so kind to support this channel, support what we're trying to build, right? Enjoy those emotes. We're at level 2 hype train because of that kindness, because of those individuals. We're going to stop 4.5 minutes off the clock. 4.5 minutes on the clock. 8% done. 92% left. A lot of room for heroes, right? Heroes like Drippy Iffy. Thank you, Drippy Iffy, for being a hero, right? Heroes like Jay. Heroes like Beadmore, even though his thing doesn't count. It's fine. But yeah, heroes like Thomas the Promise, right? Who support this community, who invest in what we're trying to build, right? So if you're sitting out there wondering, well, how do I do this? How do I make it happen, right? How do I ensure this content, which I love so much, which I come back night after night, because it's there for me, night after night. How do I make sure it's there's an answer. There's an answer. Gifting subs, just like that, right? Or gifting bits, like Thomas the Promise did. Or subbing yourself, like Silk Killer. And again, I love that. It's actually pretty badass. Silk Killer. Sounds like a super villain thing, actually, right? Like, that's actually not bad. I kind of wish I came up with myself. But anyway. That would be pretty. I think that would be like a distinguished name for progressive channel. Like the Silk Killer, right? Like let's talk about the importance of preserving the rainforest. Here on the Silk Killer channel. Let's help us out. How about that? It's Silk Killer there. Let's help us out. So you can help us out too. Buy something. Buy a gift. I'm the real Prince Slime. I'm so hope you niggas put it on with the cold we get.
Nutrition is like how I put them greens on your spine. I kept missing all your calls, cause bitch, you got the other line. We been doubling them since way back when made back and make this on my dog like Oakley. I'm like Jordan, he just good, I pay the fine. I ain't seen the sun in 7 days like I've been doing time. That's just how I got the back, can't build up when I'm on it. Yeah, be blinking on my phone and I ain't losing sleep. I told Shorty call your hoes, but they can't post when they with me. I don't really sipping purple rain with Prince and Lil Kitty. I be feeling like I'm Michael Jackson when I hit the my chain make a face reaction like they gotta sneeze. All them pleasures, all them I be taking cactus to the face and turn me to a beast. Heard the ops outside, we take their hands and turn into a beast.
Might as well just sub here.
That's what I would agree. Yeah, right. So before you buy that egg beater,
that air fryer you're never gonna use.
My parents use their air fryer all the goddamn time.
I like my air fryer.
The Gills aren't so
Is that what it is right now?
The Gills are Monday.
Six, hit me up if you see anything fire.
Yeah, so if you before you put it on with the cold those housing appliances, but I mean, you might be able to use that. But before that, consider helping out the channel by subbing. Buy gifting subs, any more girls. Any more girls in the chat. Who will tip the channel? I like that. That's my new set. Who will tip the channel? Support us, right? If you enjoy it, support the channel by tipping, right? By subbing, by gifting bits, or supporting all the things that we do night after night, day after day, no matter what, right? So like that we're here all the time, then support, help us out. We have less than 30 seconds on the clock, less than 30 seconds. Any more girls and channels out there. We'll be so I have to help us. Anyone out there who wants to, I don't know what's going on my screen. Okay, lots of things happen. I'm just gonna fix some other things, alright? Any more kind individuals will help us out for those hype trains. But think of those who did help out like Jimmy and me. I go Silk and Tom to Promise, Jay Cook, who's been really kind to us, and be more out there too. Thank you all for the help. It's because of you I can do what I do, and I do it as often as I do, right? So thank you for those who have been helping us out. Thank you. We're going to thank our top 5 gifters, because we got to do that. These are the people who do it for us. So at the top, number 1, of course, is Leah. Thank you, Leah, wherever you may be. She is our channel queen. Thank you, Leah, for the help. 112 subs, followed by Zonia Dead of 80 subs. Thank you, Zonia. Tuco22 with 20 subs. Drippy Iffy making it up there. Love to see it. 18 subs. Thank you. Seriously, it means a lot. Benja B with 13 subs. Ty with Taking L's for 13 subs as well. And in terms of our bit donors, Leah at the top, number 1 with 45,000 bits. Nick P. Brad with 5,000 bits. Tower with 5,000 bits. Def Not with 5,000 bits. And Black Yamato with 4,300 bits. And we want to shout out Zonia Dead, especially for boosting our server, right? For helping boost the server. Thank you, Zonia Dead, for that. And everyone else who's been boosting. I gotta create like a thing for that, like a like a role in the Discord server. But yeah, if you guys got Discord Nitro boost, right? Sitting around, then help us out in Discord, right? / social for our Discord, right? Jump in there and throw it in. Helps out the channel. Gives us like better sound quality, you know. So thanks to people who've been boosting so far. And yeah, I gotta come up like a role for you guys, so we all know who the boosters are. But Zonia helped us out today by boosting. Thank you, Zonia. Thank you for everyone else who's been doing it in the past. Okay. Yeah. And when
I'm so.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. I had to go AFK to go to the bathroom. It took longer than I thought. I'm now back.
Okay. We're back just in time. So
Nice.
great.
What are we doing? Can I fight somebody?
Maybe.
Yes, you can.
So I wanted to take this to a different, slightly different area. Talking about when we actually take action against a company, right? So people were talking about. I had brought up like, yo, we'll shop locally, right? And people said, well, what if the boss of that local store, is an asshole, right? Like, then what do you do? So what I was thinking though is that what level do you think consumers should take action?
Kick his ass.
At Activision Blizzard, for instance, right? There's this. Well, Activision Blizzard, they've done a lot of things, but let's take one thing in isolation because Bobby Kotick, you mean? They've done lots of things, but Bobby Kotick is now being accused of rampant sexual harassment and intimidation of employees, and he was a sociopath from the fucking start, though, Bobby Kotick. So that's not surprising. But let's say that was the only thing that was happening, right? Is that worth consumer action? Like, at what level, like, does it matter to you that the head of a company that you may patronize on a regular basis, that the boss has maybe even sexually assaulted someone, right? And then the board is protecting them. So in case of Bobby Kotick, I'm not sure if he assaulted anyone, but he's been harassing someone. And the board, like, they had just like had a zero policy tolerance for this stuff, right? I believe it was like the day before they released a zero policy tolerance like guideline, and then the next day Bobby Kotick was accused of this, and like, except for the head of the company, right? So, do you think that matters, or does it have to be something more serious to you before you actually? Before any action needs to be taken. Go ahead, Chris.
It's kind of hard, right? For me, of course, I'd like say like people should stop their subscriptions to WoW. They should stop playing Warzone, right? They should like just to send a message to the company, but at the same time, you're going to be hurting the same employees that they were like terrorizing, right? It's the ones putting in the work to like make this game possible and keep them running, right? That you're probably going to be hurting the most, because these companies are going to like push all the not the blame, but like the hard work off onto them, right? They're going to be the CEO Bobby he's probably
Bobby Kotick. Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick. He should be let go. He should be kicked out. I realize it's going to be a hard task to do, because like the board is just like, even though they are like to speak out against him, they won't release him. And if they do, they're going to like give him a golden parachute, like that he can float away on, and probably like never have to work again. His kids will ever have to work again ever in their lifetime, right? So it's a weird like place to be as consumers, right? You love this product, right? The main people you're like you're supporting when it comes to this product is
you're supporting me.
Time, like,
I hope you know that.
Running, like
whoever's
that.
watching, you're supporting Nigel Bennett.
That were victimized in the situation. I don't know, like if you spent like a lot of your life playing WoW, who am I to tell you that you should give all that up and just abandon the game? Right? Even though I think you should morally. There's a lot that goes into it that makes it very complicated on the consumer side.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I kind of think
this situation, as you described, as I would like to put it, kind of like puts the consumer in like a weird, interesting catch-22 if they are concerned about it. It's easy for someone like me because I've never personally been attached to Blizzard to like say, yeah, fuck Blizzard, you know, all of that shit. But I can't really like be in that state of mind of somebody who cares about WoW. I think though sometimes, and at least like with all of the news that's come out about Bobby Kotick and Activision Blizzard and the actions and I guess like all of the news around the surrounding companies they own, like Treyarch abuses, and it's like alleged that all the other Call of Duty studios specifically abuse like playtesters and shit, like the devs do. So it seems like this toxic culture is probably being reinforced all around anything Activision Blizzard has ownership over, just because the leadership seems to be having that kind of issue. And I think consumers could be convinced more, especially in my opinion, with as rampant abuses like this, to acknowledge the risk and even accept that some of the people that were victims are gonna be hurt. Because I don't see these businesses willfully like gutting their entire staff or making actual meaningful change until they are actually like hurt profits wise.
How do I change the color?
Well, yeah, it always just gets swept under the fucking rug. That's what happened with Ubisoft, right? Like, there was all the shit about abuse at Ubisoft, and then they were just like, well, we'll just not talk about it for a little while. And I think, like, honestly, I would say this is a huge fucking problem with, like, I'm gonna say the meme. Ethics in games journalism. Let's go. Alright? Where, it's a huge problem with, like, games journalists, where they want to just focus on the games and forget about everything else, and just push whatever product that quite honestly often they're being paid to push, right? We need good independent journalists that are like putting this news out to the gaming community and actually getting people riled up and caring about it. Because
how do I change the color?
They just don't. Like, it's inconvenient for journalists, like games journalists, because they get their first copies from the company. They get to write the reviews first, right? They want to have a good working relationship with those companies, and so they don't want to be critical of them, and they will help them with whatever fucking PR frenzy happens around abuse, and that just needs to like not be the fucking case.
I think
thank God for James Sterling. All right.
Yeah, exactly. James Stephanie Sterling. Yeah. Thank you. They have been on the subject. Absolutely. But I actually don't want to get too far into this. I think this could be a separate topic specifically. I only brought them up because they were on my mind, but we can use literally anything else. I want to focus in on what I was saying. Okay, so like you brought up how Chris, excuse me, you brought up how like WoW. You're like, oh well, who am I to tell someone who's invested in WoW that they shouldn't be supporting this? All right, so I'm going to escalate this, right? I'm going to bring it up to the quote-unquote absurd, right? But we'll see, like, at what point do you think it actually matters? All right, let's say that you were part of an organization, a super old organization, right? One that's been for a long time. It's pretty invested in people's lives.
This is his religion.
And it turned out that you were the biggest child sex ring in the world, right? Just I know this is imaginary, not a thing that happened in real life.
Totally.
But you have a bit of an Epstein moment?
But no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the Catholic Church. But like yeah. So you have like the you have something like that's that large and that big, right? That has been hiding predators forever, right? We're gonna move it out of religion because religion adds another variable to this, right? But let's move it out for a second. Let's say it was some company that you regularly use, right? And that had access to children, right? That had front-facing stores, that had access to children, and that somehow they had been abusing them, and then like moving their store managers around, right? At that point, should some actions be taken, right? Let's say it was Blizzard. Blizzard did not do that. Don't sue me, right? But let's say somehow Blizzard did that, right? Like, do you give up your fucking WoW game, or do you continue on? Like, well, I mean, they're invested. Like, at what point does it become ridiculous?
Yeah, me personally, I'd say like no fucking way. Like this is like insane. And I'd tell other people who are like invested in this, like you should get out. Like this is nothing, something you morally shouldn't be doing, right? It just like depends on even though I feel that way, I don't. When it comes to that, like extreme, there's no excuse.
Like,
I was gonna
I
try
think
to
it's
come up
like
with
that extreme. Like we'd all say yes, but like
this goes into the
I
whole
think that we
government
all
thing.
agree though. Like we treat these instances of like abuse against people or actions against people a lot differently. Like especially when it's against children. So like and I think that like the fact that it's like crimes against children in particular is what like actually ramps it up. Because like if we say like, oh, someone got hit, and then you say, oh, someone hit a child, like we obviously it's the same act, but obviously one has like we put a lot more weight on the fucking like crime against a child.
Rape. If there's rape or sexual assault happening within a company, I want people to go to jail.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Blizzard's already there, right? I mean, like a lot of shit has happened. Like someone's died. People, someone actually did die. There's lawsuits. The alleged Bobby Kotick thing that happened a week ago was about somebody literally being told that they were gonna be assassinated. Essentially, that Bobby Kotick was gonna hire somebody. So like, you could argue that Blizzard's already at that point. Like,
someone should go to jail. Probably there should be a federal investigation.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good time actually that I just joined because I played pro Overwatch for like 4 years. So my job was tied literally to playing a Blizzard game. I fucking hate that company, but like I wouldn't recommend for any of my old friends that still play to just like give up your livelihood because a company is like bad, you know? But yeah, like I couldn't tell them like to just stop your livelihood that makes you money and pays your bills so you can just like make a stand for a boycott. I feel like you need a lot more than that.
But hold on. That's a different thing. So that's a different dynamic you just brought in, right? Saying like you're effectively an employee, right? That's something else, right? And that's not what Chris mentioned, right? You talk unless maybe there's no professional WoW players, I don't think. Unless I'm mistaken. But
let's get on streamers, but yeah.
Okay, unless you're talking about streamers, fair enough. But like I mean, like
I played WoW for 9 years, but like that's not anywhere close to what Ajax did with Overwatch. So
yeah, so exactly. So I'm talking about people who are just enjoying it, like buying Call of Duty, right? You can have the option. I mean, you have a stack of Call of Duties in your fucking house, right? A stack of different titles. Maybe you're like, I won't buy the next one. All right, maybe not the next. You're not even being deprived of Call of Duty. In fact, you're still costing them more money by using their servers to play Call of Duty. So you can still play Call of Duty, but maybe not buy the next Call of Duty.
Maybe the two games after
like
that.
The latest one. I'm not buying Vanguard. It looks trash anyway. But like but like once that story came out, like I haven't played a Activision Blizzard game since, and I've uninstalled them all. And that's just me on the consumer side. Like it's just like it was too much. Like the information piled on. Even outside of Bobby Kotick, like there's so much that you just like you really cannot ignore like that's going on. And if you like really are against these things, like you should. But that's me because like I'm that type of person, right? I'm in these political spaces. I think about this stuff. Right, for a normal consumer, right, just an everyday normal consumer who doesn't really think about those things, yeah, they'll see some things bad going on in the company. They see some things bad going on in a lot of companies they consume from, right? So they might not think of it the same way. They might not process the same way. So they might just continue not really care because they're like, well, this company's done some bad shit. Well, so is the other like hundreds of companies I got purchased from, right? How's this any different?
Yeah. One of the. Oh, sorry. Did you want to? I just wanted to say.
I just want to say that, like, yeah, like, because I really want to use this as a separate topic some other time, this Activision Blizzard thing, right? I want to focus more on, like, the concept of, it's my fault, because I brought them up again. I said don't do it, then I brought it up again, my fault. But, like, the focus on, like, the topic itself, right? Like, at what point is it too much? Is it sex crimes? Is that what it is? Right? Is it sex crimes specifically against children? That's a point where someone should take action. Or is it like abusing your workers? Right? Is it stealing their wages? Right? Like, for instance, like a diner. Right? A diner. This happens all the time, in, like, food industry. Right? They steal tips. Right? This is a big thing. And it's oftentimes the people who are just like otherwise too poor. You could take them to court. Right? That's remedy. You could take them to court. But then these people who are working for tips oftentimes don't have the money to actually do that, and so they just kind of get away with it. So if the police were raising awareness about this, it's like, look, we gotta boycott this, right? And there's gonna be a work stoppage and all that. Is that enough for you to not do it? To like avoid this diner? Like, what is your limit here?
I think part of the thing is, though, like, the question of that, like, it's an individualistic question where everyone, you know, there's so many factors within that, you know, like I don't know. So I think it may be not equivalent, but, you know, it's kind of like saying, like, how many black people need to get killed by the cops for someone to finally be like, hey, BLM, you know, to finally get on board with the BLM movement, you know, like, that degree of, like, how many instances have to occur is subjective to everybody. And I think, like, and then, like, when we talk about specific instances of even just, like, in the more minor minutia of, like, what we may deem as lesser crimes, like, unfortunately that's usually, like, of various worker abuses from, like, a psychological or mental nature. Like, it's very, like, that's where we're even more flip-floppy on, you know, where we may condemn fucking Riot Games for how they fucking manipulate their employees to, like, these asinine degrees, or even, like, who is it, Gearbox, that makes Borderlands, by how they treat their employees. But with the fucking frat culture shit, you know, like, we making them a little bit, but, like, if their conduct may be potentially even worse than Blizzard's, but we still go after Blizzard because of this particular aspects or prior history that Blizzard has, you know. And so it's like, it seems like if you're trying to find an answer to that question of where we draw the line, that's very much, you're probably not gonna get a specific answer that you're.
Let me ask it then, though. Let's see what people say. Like, yeah, everyone else, like, and Jess, you had something to say, but, like, where is this line for you?
For me, I think this line really depends. I'm coming from a lower-ish income perspective, but I guess, like, if when it's a gaming company, like the one that you mentioned, we're not gonna go into specifics about it, but, like, while the abuses are great, it's like a gaming company. So for me, I'm kind of like, I don't need to support Blizzard. There's, like, hundreds of other games I could go pay money to if I really wanted to. There's free games, you know, there's other stuff to be doing. So it's very easy for me to, like, advocate for that. And I think, especially, you know, with this limit of, like, the kinds of abuses that are alleged. But, like, if we took the same abuses, but it was, like, one of the important food companies all the way, and it went all the way to the top, I don't know if I could reasonably justify, like, telling people to boycott that food company, because, like, I don't even know, one, if it's going to be successful, two, if it's going to make that much change, or, like, if it's like a good idea to tell people, oh, don't go buy this cheap food, you know, especially if they can't, you know. I don't know how that's going to work. So
is there never a level of outrage for is there never a level of outrage, like, for, like, a certain level of, for a crime, right? Like I don't know. Maybe this is just me. Maybe other people don't feel the same way that I feel. Like, and again, I know that not every person can be involved in reaction. I've been saying that, but, like, at some point, I feel like there must be a limit, right? Like
I'm not gonna lie.
The majority of people would agree. Yeah, it'd probably be like if a company's endorsing fucking child diddling, then yeah, that'd probably be a time when the majority of people would agree, yeah, that's bad. Or like
yeah, but not when
outright
violence
blatant, like
against
physical
women
assault or abuse of
or
employees.
sexual assault
That
would be a thing.
I don't know. I can see some
That's
assholes
funny.
trying to be big apologetics for it, but like I think that could ultimately be condemned.
Real quick, everybody. I'm peacing out. I'm peacing out. First off, like ban Wiggle. It should have been done a long time ago. Like he was demodded. That was a good move. Now he's remodded. Not so much of a good move. I've been advocating for this. We need to form a boycott. I need everybody just to vacate chat. Wiggle should not be around. Look, do boycotts work or not? Look at Prime. Look at his smile. Look at this. Look, let's prove the boycotts work. Besides that, everybody, I'll be back around. I'm not as busy as I used to be, so you'll catch me on the black panels, a few more opens, and other than that, have a great night.
Be more seriously, dude. Like I'm so happy to have you around. I love that you're always disagreeing with me and giving me a good fight. Be more. I'm really happy you're back, and I'm glad you're safe. So yeah, we love to have you back on the panels.
First of all, I was always safe. The Afghani migrants they're amazing. They're fun. I wish everybody got the chance to meet them. Like they're so happy to be here. They're far more patriotic than we are. It's absolutely hilarious. But anyway, good night.
Good night, buddy. All right. Go ahead, Viv.
I'm just super fucking blackpilled on the idea that like most people are going to give a shit about most of these issues. They can't be bothered. They're like living their daily lives. They want to be able to get the products they need, and they want to like go about their fucking business, right? And honestly, like the laughable idea of thinking that you can get the majority of the gaming community to give a fuck about misogyny, and I just wanna fucking like chuck that one out there in regards to Blizzard. But like, I don't know. I don't give a fuck about like getting like shitloads of people together to like do a boycott. I don't think it works except in the most extreme of cases. What I do think that boycotts can do is that they can bring attention to an issue, which means that it has to be reported in the fucking national press, right? You might actually even end up increasing their products, like their revenue through that action. But at the very least, you're like getting the word out, and there can be like widespread disapproval and stuff. And maybe somewhere later on down the line, you get some kind of legislation, or you manage to form some kind of pressure group or something, right? But in the case of like multinational fucking conglomerates, like huge ass fucking companies like Amazon or Blizzard, like I don't think there is much power on the side of the consumer in regards to being able to like stop them doing stuff. What stops people playing video games is when they get shit. That's why WoW's starting to lose money, is because everybody's fucking bored of it, right? It's got nothing to do with the fucking rampant misogyny in the workplace. And Amazon, you got fucking workers pissing in bottles and all kinds of shit. Nobody's fucking boycotting Amazon.
Is that
Nobody's
really Amazon's fault though?
People just want to go about their lives and do shit. And most of them, when you go, there's like child slaves in Africa or whatever. They're like, that's so fucking removed from them. They don't give a shit. And that's me being super fucking doomer about it, right? I think you need, like I said earlier, you need good journalists, you need good activists, and you need to work out how to fucking place pressure as a minority rather than having this fantasy that you're going to somehow bring the majority against them.
It's never about the size of the boycott that matters, it's how loud it is. You could have a boycott of 100 people, but if it's loud as fuck and gets a ton of media attention, it's infinitely more powerful. Because what happens is, like, especially like I'm gonna use the Blizzard thing as an example, but only for like the stocks. Like, it was really loud when the Bobby Kotick stuff dropped, so the stock went down, and that's when people were like, oh, they might actually care now. And it's only because it was loud on the media and the stock dropped that people actually thought that something might happen. So it only comes back to like, how loud is it on the media? And like Vivian said, it's about like the journalists and people reporting on it, and if the board of directors is going to give a fuck because now it's on the news and now they might actually fire the CEO they have.
Okay, never mind. Everyone wants to talk about Activision, so it's fine. It's like, everyone wants to talk about Activision. It's okay. Whatever. I don't care. Drippy, I'm not sure if you had your hand up, Drippy. I wasn't sure. Did you have your hand up?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I don't really have much nuance to add to these takes, to be honest.
Okay. But Yeah. I mean, like I guess I'm getting more black pill now. The more I'm talking to you all, right? I actually was a lot more hopeful before I talked to any of you. Like, and Vivian, I think just did a really good job. She did a mic drop there, on that. Yeah, like, look. I think again, my objection before on the child slavery thing is I think most people literally don't know that Nestle is using child slaves to make its chocolate. In case you didn't know, in the back, Nestle is using child slaves. Great, so enjoy that. Anyway, but most people don't know. Right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, you tell them that, but then, like, guess what? In like 3 or 4 days, I'll pull the chat here. Half these motherfuckers aren't even gonna remember that shit, and I think that's like it kind of goes further into.
I think it's a problem with your memory issue. No. I think it's a little different. I think child slavery. I think it will stick in their heads. Maybe.
Like it's something that is far removed from their daily lives. Like they're resonating to the chocolate that they have in their hand. They're physically seeing, not resonating
Just stop
with
eating chocolate,
what's going on.
Not
even like on their own continent. You know, on the other on the almost the other side of the world.
You can say that about anything, though. I feel like
yes.
We're oh my god. I feel like we're not putting responsibility in our hands as consumers who have purchasing power. Like we
it is
buy
in our hands.
things.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you that it is in our hands.
I hate blenders.
I just don't agree with you that there's any way to mobilize a huge portion of the populace against it because they don't give a shit. Like, it's not that they don't have the responsibility, it's that they don't care they have that responsibility.
That's true, but you can still minimize harm. Like, I still go out of my way to not purchase products that I feel like a company's dog shit about, because I feel like I can minimize the harm done.
Yeah, I mean, if you care. Right? There was a old Patrice O'Neal bit about him, like, watching the news and being like, I'm really gonna give a shit about this, you know, this person has been kidnapped at like 5 states over, right? And like I'm trying to give a shit, and I'm trying to give a shit, and you think like, oh no, like I really don't give a shit, right? A lot of people, right, when it comes to things that are really detached from them, right, they can act like they care, they can like sort of give the face that they do, but deep down, really on the day-to-day life, right, they could like literally care less, right?
Well, and I think it's like even if you're mentally aware of it, again, like it sounds like, oh, you're just making excuses for it, but like even if you're mentally aware of it and try to do it, it's fucking difficult to. Like I think fucking Killer Mike literally had a series about how like there's one episode Killer Mike did. He's part of Run Jewels if you don't know him, but where he was specifically trying to spend like just the day go shopping at exclusively black-owned businesses, and he was driving around all over the fucking place, and even then he had to make concessions like, hey, okay, your black business, that's great, where do you get your stuff from? Oh, from a fucking white-owned farm, you know? Like even then, you know, like going out and actively doing all this movement, nevertheless it was still operating within a system that he disagreed with.
What's 30%
You can
off?
actually relate this to like climate change stuff, where you wouldn't like you would never tell someone that just because them not throwing away a plastic bottle into the ocean is gonna fix climate change. You would never tell them to go throw that plastic bottle in the water, because you're still actively committing a harm. You can take that harm into your own hands and make sure it doesn't happen, even if on a global scale you're not gonna be like, oh cool, I didn't solve climate change by not drinking this plastic water bottle and throwing it in the ocean.
Yeah, hun. I like that you say that. And Ajax, thanks for coming through. I didn't greet you before, but thank you for being here. Okay, so individual action doesn't matter at all, right? Like, would you say like it's fine to toss your trash into like the ocean or just anywhere in like in nature, right? You know what? Individual action doesn't matter at all because it's the problem is so big. Then should we just like if you happen to be by the sea, right? It is certainly more convenient than walking like 5 feet to go to a public trash can, right? Why not just chuck it in there? Because individual action really doesn't matter, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It does matter.
Anyone say that though?
No, other people. Yes, the people saying the entire time. People have been saying individual action doesn't matter. The entire time we've been here, people have been saying that.
He's been saying that all, but like on this panel has been saying like that affirmative of a stance. That like, hey, it doesn't matter what you.
I don't
Like,
think
no one's
individual
saying that.
like
No one
actions
has.
doesn't matter. It's just that how do you mobilize like so many individuals to not do this thing, right? Like my city has a
You're
huge
scared.
thing with litter, right? I don't litter. Like I hate that, right? I actively try to pick up things around where I live, but like it's to a degree where so many people are doing it. How do I like affect all these people? Like how do I get them to not do this thing, right? How do I get people to stop throwing their fucking fast food trash out the window as they're driving?
And if, you can't get people to care, though, let's say you can't, right? Because the problem is too big or whatever, right? And the problem of ocean pollution is way bigger than individual people, right? And so there's I can hold on to this plastic bottle, right? Or this plastic wrapper, right? I can hold on to this thing and put it in that garbage can. But as I'm walking, right? As I'm walking, tons of garbage is being tossed in the ocean, right? By the time I get there, several tons of plastic. But I walk that 5 feet, several tons of plastic has been put in the ocean. So why not, for convenience, toss it in the ocean myself? Just like, no, that's just one more.
What?
Right?
I wouldn't do that. Right? Yeah.
Well,
Do
I mean,
you get
within
that,
this
viewer?
example, the real world scenarios that are happening is we just legalize against that ability. Like like in Washington State, like we did have that plastic issue, and then like with single use plastics, and then what did? We implemented a plastic bag tax on it effectively, And so like what did that do? It's greatly reduced the amount of single use plastic bag waste specifically. But nevertheless, though, it kind of gets to the point that Beemore and Chris and I had talked about was like this was change that ultimately had occurred as a result of the government legislative action, though.
So individual action. So again, I'm agreeing with you. Great, government action. We'll go to Japan next. But government action did it, not individual action, right? So if I happen to have a plastic thing, I toss it away and throw it into the ocean, right? Walking on the boardwalk, chuck it. Let's see what Trippy has to say.
Yeah, I actually love what Smog brought up earlier because, trying to circle back to my point earlier, the consumer can only feel so much. Like we only have so much power as a consumer to change certain things that goes on when it comes to modern society and how shit goes down in these companies. And the problem is we don't really have any other incentive to go move on towards boycotting these companies. So I love that how Smug brought up that we need to change things on a legislative level. If we start to, things like the plastic bag tax, where, it did have an effect on people not really wanting to get as much plastic bags and getting more paper bags. I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. Please let me know.
No, you're making sense.
No, you're good. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was busy typing something. That's why I didn't react. But I want more of an answer to what I said. Jess, is your hand up?
Yeah. So, what did you say to remind me? Because I was going to respond to what Smug said, or Chris can talk if you have a direct response to Prime or something. I don't know what you're.
Okay, I'll just remind you what I said. We were talking about with the individual action.
You were talking about individual action
for the ocean.
I would say to an extent, I do think individual action matters. Maybe this isn't what you want because I feel like a lot of other people have said this, but
okay, that's
better. I personally do not. I don't litter. I don't throw trash in creeks or the ocean or just all willy nilly. I don't buy a bunch of water bottles. I just have one, and then there's a water purification thing I just get water from. So I try to be more mindful, and I kind of don't really.
That's a lot better.
Do that stuff, but I don't know how you can incentivize it without getting some legislative action done. I'm also in Washington, and I know about the plastic bag thing. The only complaint I would have about that thing in Washington is one of the things that like it seems to piss off everybody. It seems to become a talking point now, and is actually true. Is the entire state gets all of that profit from the plastic bag tax instead of like some of it going to the local business that does it. So it doesn't seem like they can have some way of making some money off those bags as well. That's.
Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can kind of mix about that. That being said, of talk, yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes. Yeah, sorry.
This is much better.
You gotta agree and kind of disagree with that.
No, I think I understand that though, because okay, so a plastic bag though is not polluting just that business. Let's say you buy the plastic bag, or let's say you didn't have to buy the plastic bag, right? Like that worker gave it to you for free because they were in a good mood. You dispose of that improperly. That's not only affecting that business, that plastic bag is going to affect the community, which is the state. So, I don't know. I agree with the tax going to the state. I don't see the problem there.
Well, I guess, like, you know, like, from how it's occurred here, like, in regards to the allocations of funds, if I read the legislation correctly, those funds are earmarked to go into various infrastructure projects. So, you know, like... our bridges are still be fucked up on both sides of the mountains, and so from my side, is like a lot of the almost exclusively those funds that we're getting from the bag taxes are going there. But like I think you agree though with my whole original claim though in regards to that though, is that it is a piece of government legislative action that has effectively reduced that. Right.
RIP that was.
Yeah, I would agree, and I would think it's done a lot more, at least from the rural community I'm in. I'm also in a shithole desert of Washington. So it's yeah.
Can I ask you something?
So it's one of the things that I'm kind of noticing is a lot of these local businesses are selling these like harder plastic bags, these ones that seem like they're having more survivability, and it's encouraging more people, at least like from where I am and from my perspective, to actually like keep these bags and reuse them so they're not like spending them. And I think that also is like some meaningful change that was caused like through this legislation that like could stick and like possibly just keep our use of like plastic bags low, you know.
And I think it's like that point of like the individual, you know. Well, like that's the thing. And again, no one is condemning the individual person who says, "Hey, I as an individual choose to go ahead and do this," you know. And if they do it, that's great.
No one was saying condemning. No one said anyone said condemned. People were saying that it's not useful. Like so, the opposite parallel I'm drawing here is really simple, right? You have a large issue, a large problem, larger than any individual person, but your individual choices can only possibly make a small dent, right? So is it worth it to ever bother? Yeah. Since it's true for the environment as it is for corporations, right? It would take a large amount of people to make a difference in that, right? Like now, government actions can do it, but I'm not the government, right? And that right now, it is more convenient, using all the same language you guys use, it is more convenient for me to take the easy route, right? So rather than consuming, I'm just tossing it away. This is a simple parallel, right? And if you think individual action makes difference in the environment, then I don't know why it doesn't in the other place. And before I'll go to Ajax, who I think you had your hand up. And for anyone else, guys, to make it simple, see, Chris, put your hand up again. See, Chris, be a model right there. See, I had to teach Chris, like alpha palms, all right? Palms up to the camera, so I know that you're doing this like half thing. That doesn't work, right? The finger, I don't know. Alpha palms, but Ajax, go ahead.
No.
Yes. So the reason it's important because the reason why I brought up the environment earlier is because I saw the parallel, and I live in Florida. I love this state. Okay, Florida's a meme, but the environment's really, really important to me
No, that's
down here
not
in
what I
Florida.
want.
And I go to Key West and I go out to our beaches all the time. I love the environment here in Florida, and I
You can
see all
sort
the
of tell
time
that
the
it's not
negative
black.
impacts of plastic and other terrible things that we just toss in our environment. Just the for the best example I can give is just a classic
It's
plastic
kind of
bag.
cool to
Can
see
literally destroy a turtle shell. Like a
multiple
young turtle
blacks
that's developing can grab on a turtle
on
shell
top
when
of
it's
each
going.
other.
It'll literally grow around and to the point where the turtle shell won't be able to take the bend anymore. It'll crack, and turtles can't regrow their shells. They're just done. They're dead at that point.
Wow.
So it's really, really sad. We have a turtle hospital down in Key West that anyone can go visit, and they can see all the examples of all these turtles that have cracked shells that are permanently stuck in rehabilitation. They can never go back in the wild. And just as simple as one plastic bag can destroy a turtle. And we have a lot of endangered species down here that are dying. So just one bag can make a big difference. So you can do a lot as an individual, but you can't fix the problem as an individual. So it's important that you do things on an individual level to make a small action, but also advocate for the legislative stuff that we were talking about earlier. So if you're doing both at the same time, you're making a huge positive impact. It's not one or the other. You have to do both.
You have to do
Chris?
both. It's a balance.
Oh yeah, and now more like fully understanding the parallel you were making. Yeah, I did make the convenience argument when it came to Amazon, right? Buying my packages and things like that. So a lot of them apply the same thing when it comes to like the environment, right? It'd be more convenient just to toss my stuff to the side rather than like waiting to get to the trash can or something like that. I get that. For some reason I don't apply the same logic to that. Like I see like the issue of the environment and I take that more to heart more than I do when it comes to Amazon and when it comes to these workers and the issues that they're dealing with. I don't know why that is, right? I guess that because I was just like raised that way. They like when growing up, right? You see all these things about recycling and things like that, and taking care of the environment. That's always been a huge issue for me, right? Like because I grew up in the time where like this, global warming, climate change things is like starting to be talked about. So it's just been in my head, like pushed into my head over and over again, to where like this is something I'm really conscious about. The shopping from Amazon and the convenience of that, right? The use of their products is something relatively newer for me, right? That helps me in my like adult life more than like a lot of things, right? And I have to really more consciously think about that and like really try to apply the same ethics as much as I can, right? I'm not going to be perfect with it. Nobody else is. But I think that does make me think about it more, right? If I care about these other issues, I apply a lot of effort to make sure I'm doing good individually towards these issues. Maybe I should apply that same logic to this whole Amazon situation and do better.
Let's go to Jay. I also want to hear from Vivian because Vivian was said, kind of destroyed my faith in humanity the most eloquently here. So I want to hear what she has to say on this particular issue, and we'll also want to hear what Spectre has to say. But Jay, please.
Yeah, I just had a quick follow-up for you, Chris. So, are you saying that your gratification of, I'll say instant gratification as a turn of phrase, just for simplicity, is more important when it comes to the things that you want and the things that you want rather than the things that you care about? Because it sounded like you care about the environment, but not necessarily how that affects how you get the things that you want, right? Like you're
This is gonna be
prioritizing
cool.
your wants over.
I don't know what it is yet, but it's probably gonna be an NFT.
Yes. And that line of questioning kind of made me realize that, right? I don't think about it to that extent. Like, how much do I order from Amazon? How much does that go towards transportation? How much does that go towards affecting the environment? Like, how much do I all the things that I have like packaged in plastic wrap, right? That I throw out or whatever, right? There would be times where my room is filled with boxes of things that I just ordered from Amazon, right? And they'll pile up, and I have to spend the day throwing out all the packaging and wrap from the things that I purchased. And
Drunk, nigga.
I'm really bad at consumerism. I grew up really really poor. So like when it came to getting things, like it'd be few and far between.
Hold on, I want to see
before I can get something right. Like it's
God,
just
that's
something
such a terrible
that I
flavor.
grew up with. So when I got older and I was able to afford more
Yeah.
things, where I had opportunities
You
to
ever
get more
regret
things,
something
right?
you did?
I have this
Admitting you
feeling
did it?
that it's really fleeting. And
That's
like,
how I
if
feel
I don't
right
get
now.
it,
When
I
I'm
feel like I
feeling
have this
finish
feeling in my
that
gut.
shit.
Like, if I don't get it now, I'm not gonna be able to
God.
get it, right? Because that's
That
how
was
just I grew up,
disgusting.
right? If I don't do this thing now,
I just want to know
if
if
this opportunity, if this
if I can
opportunity
hear
passes,
myself.
right? Then it's something subconsciously where I'm just like, I won't get it, because that would happen when I was younger, right? There'd be opportunities in school for doing these things with
You're
organizations.
telling me I can't check?
That if I had the money, like to go to visit Washington D.C. or something on a school trip, and like I couldn't afford the $1,000 it took to like go on that trip because hotel and things like that.
Oh
no! Not saying that's. I don't know. It just affects my mind state now when it comes to purchasing things.
Yeah, no, and I don't think that you're saying
Hello?
that like going on a school trip and learning about the history of
Hello?
America and Washington D.C.
Hello?
is the same as
Okay, I
like,
can hear myself.
getting
Hello?
a graphics card
Okay, I can hear
from
myself.
Amazon. Not that that's something that you do, but I'm just
That was
being
meta.
superfluous.
That was super meta.
Not that you're saying that those are the same thing, but
Hold on,
I feel like your argument is still, to me, that's a behavior that can be changed. That's a behavior that you like grew, like that you like ramped up to, right? Because at one point you weren't able to access all of these things, but now that you can access all of these things, it's like, okay, I need to buy it now. I need it now. Like I need it from this one source rather than like taking that extra step to find it somewhere else that isn't Amazon. Like finding the alternative. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, even with Amazon, I'm like, even with their
How much do you think these NFTs should
I'm
be
still
worth?
sitting at my window, like, where the fuck
I
is
don't
it?
know.
I'm not talking about this necessarily. I'm
know
just
what's
talking
going on.
about like just like buying from Amazon in general, because if the argument that we're saying is like at which point, like to Prime's question, like which point is
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, even like, I'm just like, it can be so obsessive at some points that even Amazon, which they are bad, and I can choose someone else, right? Even then, their
Is
service
Amazon
isn't
bad,
good
or is
most
Amazon so good it's bad?
like,
That's what I
why
want to
not
know.
go to some
Is
place
Amazon
that
really
you,
bad,
that you,
or is it
like,
so
feel
good that it's
buying
bad?
from?
because it's not about feeling good buying from. It's about feeling good about how quickly it can get to me, right?
What the
That's
fuck?
what I'm saying.
This has
Right? And I
refreshing
know that's
flavors
wrong,
of tomato, salt,
and
and
I should
lime.
think more about that.
This is
It's
disgusting.
Just like you said, the instant gratification of like this thing that I want, I order it and it
There's
gets to me
tomato
right
juice
now.
and beer.
Right? I don't have to travel outside state lines to get it. Right? This company will package it up, send it out to me
It tastes
in a
thick.
day or two, and I get my hands on it, and like I know it's here and it's ready to go.
Let's go to Vivian. I want to hear from Vivian. Spectre, Jesse, do you have your hand up? We'll go to you afterwards.
Like, I don't know why.
Vivian? Oh, you want to hear from me
thought
now?
Tomato
Yeah.
juice would be a good year.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff I get from Amazon. I'm literally eating right now a nice plate of Japanese curry.
I love Japanese curry. It's so good. Sorry.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I could have probably made it from scratch.
How spicy is it though? That's the real question.
It's fairly spicy. It's making my nose run, but it's not like
that's a good
fucking
guess,
so hot that it's like burning my face off.
Okay, sorry. I hate spice. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Whatever, I'll leave that to other people. So so I could have made it from scratch, but like I used curry blocks for this one because I'm fucking depressed at the moment and I couldn't be asked to put that much effort into it. So I ordered some curry blocks off Amazon. Now, if I want to order Japanese curry blocks from like the local supermarket or whatever, all they have is that golden curry shit, which is fucking awful. Okay, everybody says, "Oh, I use golden curry. That's what they all use." No, it's fucking not. Okay, it tastes like shit. It's fucking terrible. The texture is all grainy and rough, and it's just nasty. Okay, Java, really good curry blocks. Okay, you want a slightly more gelatinous curry, but I gotta get that from fucking Amazon, right? Along with a whole load of other like specialty ingredients that I use for cooking, because I just like I enjoy cooking, and I like cooking world foods. Just like literally impossible for me to source. And if I didn't have Amazon, there are other places that I could go, right? But they're like these specialty online Asian marts, and they charge you like 3-4 times as much. And I'm poor as shit. I can't fucking afford that, right?
I'm poor,
Amazon,
that's why I'm
going
making
on
NFTs
also going on
for
Japanese Amazon.
anyone
Good
to
fucking
buy
idea, by the way,
Flex.
people. Okay, different
That they
product.
had these.
Go to the country of origin, go to their Amazon, and then see what they will ship to the UK. That's usually a good way to do things.
I'm putting my hard work and time
But
into
like,
this, so that
yeah,
you can
it is-
flex
there-
and be proud
for a
that you
lot of
flexed.
things that I enjoy in my life, there is no alternative to Amazon for me.
Sure.
They basically have a monopoly on my business.
That's not
Is
the
that Amazon
question though, right? So I want to hear what, in terms of individual action, and the importance of individual action, should you toss trash into the ocean, even though because it's convenient?
I mean, I was just responding to Chris, but no, you
That's
shouldn't
like
throw
saying,
trash
shouldn't
into the
kill
ocean. I think
somebody
that's a
because
really
everybody
different
dies.
thing.
Like,
I
no.
don't think that's analogous at all.
Why is it different? Now, let's say you had choices, okay? So, if you don't have choices, that's one thing, right? If you had no choice but to somehow dispose of your items in the water, right?
Oh, then you should throw it into the ocean because, like, you have no choice.
Yes, exactly. But you do have a choice, right? You do have a choice for this, and let's say you do have a choice for where to shop. If you have choices, like most people do, as to where to throw away the garbage, right? Why even bother if the ocean is the most convenient option? Because it doesn't make that much of a difference any which way, right? It makes very little difference. There's be tons of garbage going to be put in the ocean any which way.
Well, I think it makes a difference to your local area.
Oh my god, we're gonna
Preferably
finish
in
it
local
though.
areas dumping shit in the sea and not going to be
Trying
going
to get
swimming there
front,
in the
nigga,
summers.
what are you talking about?
If everyone's your
Not even
local
get
area
front
is
off this.
shopping locally, again, if you have an option, obviously, if you have the option of shopping locally, if everyone did that, well, then those stores would be popular, they would be strong, you'd have a better economy overall, right? So.
The only reason people don't dump shitloads of stuff in the ocean is because we regulate against it. I recognize these are things that people shouldn't do, but I also think it's unreasonable to expect that they're not going to do it. We need some way of either deterring people or convincing them that they can't do it, right? Which requires either a penalty or a big fucking carrot, right?
So you're talking about government action, right? But there is no cop around me, right? There's no one who's gonna catch me. I have the option. There is a trash can ahead of me. I'll use meters for you, right? 3 meters away, okay? 3 meters in front of me, there's a trash can. I'm on the boardwalk, and so the ocean is right next to me, right? I can just simply reach over and toss my trash into the ocean because it's more convenient. Why not do that? No one's gonna catch me.
Yeah, I literally just said it wouldn't be a particularly moral decision, but I'm saying that
My
doesn't
point
matter.
still stands.
Like I said
you
to
wouldn't kill somebody because
sorry, is it Jake?
they still die eventually.
Earlier, who was like, we all fucking broadly agree on the morality/immorality of like shopping at Amazon or whatever. The problem is getting people to give enough of a shit that they're willing to put themselves out to do something about it. And I'm totally fucking blackpilled on that. Now, I think it would be a much more interesting conversation because we all broadly agree. Maybe you have a suggestion, Prime, as to how we can get people to give more of a fuck, because I'm lost.
You scare people.
I'm not sure we all perfectly agree, and it's specifically on the point of convenience. But okay, thanks for that, Deb. Let's go to.
Well, that's a good question though. Like, I mean, like literally, like the biggest quandary. I think that like Chris, Viv, and I, like, not to just characterize you
I'm
guys,
gonna do
audience as
something,
mine, is the
graffiti
issue of that collectivity step of like what would be like your proposed method
an
to
NFT,
like
but
finally
also
like
cover page.
inspire. I say inspire, but like to get people to actually participate
the
in it,
website.
or are we really just gonna go? Okay,
No.
I'm just gonna by myself individually just go one person, convince them, hey,
But
don't litter.
that's-
Another. And just
that's-
hypothetically.
The point isn't the collective. We already agree on the collective action. We already agree that it should happen, right? I'm talking about the importance of individuals.
And if you didn't
though,
know, I was
right?
broke, and that's why I couldn't buy the full
Because we
version.
are individuals and we don't
So
get to
please,
collective things happening unless
locate,
individuals
donate to your
take a
local
step themselves.
stream it out.
So, as an individual, why not
supposed to be
just
media,
throw
streamer.
everything in the ocean if it's more convenient? Like literally like if it's more convenient for you to put your mattress in the ocean, why not? Why not? Because
you're
another mattress is going to end up in the ocean. There's lots of mattresses in the ocean, right? Lots of everything in the ocean. So
Because
like,
there's a huge amount of social pressure to not do that. Right?
No. Social pressure. No, that's what. So no. Like I'm not saying why people don't. Why shouldn't you? Like, what is the reasons why you shouldn't, other than like
Well,
social?
this is why I say we all
the
broadly agree,
convenience of
because
one
I think
person
pretty much everybody in this channel
not
would say,
what's
yeah, you
important.
probably shouldn't do that, right? Is there anybody who disagrees with that
No.
statement?
No. I'm saying, but why should you not, other than social pressure? If your argument on convenience, your argument in terms of corporation hangs on convenience, then if it's more
Because you're polluting
convenient.
the ocean, you're making it shit for other
Yeah,
people.
I know, but like, okay, but it's more convenient for me. Just like it's more convenient for me to use Amazon or whatever it is, that big box retailer, because it's simply
and
more
I think you probably
convenient for me.
I think you probably should use Amazon unless you have no other choices, right? But like I said, I don't think anybody here fucking disagrees, right? Does anybody disagree that you shouldn't use Amazon unless you, morally, it's probably a bad thing to choose Amazon unless you have no other choices.
Does everyone agree that convenience is not important, right? So if you had that, so let's say,
That I know
like with the
that I could argue about.
like the thing that we're talking about in terms of like you brought up Killer Mike. We like searching, right? If you actually could find anything, everything else, but like everything you needed, but you had to put some work into it, right? Like should convenience, and it's the same price, right? But it's just harder for you to do it rather than just going to Amazon. You should never use it? Would none of you ever use it for convenience sake?
I think that would be so for the convenience sake. I'll bite the fucking. I think it'd be the case by case on like on what we scale as being convenient. Like for example, I would not fucking be persecuting someone for the convenience for doing something if that alternate one would be like, for example, like someone's needing a product. We don't even have to be more specific, and the convenience of
If I
having
want
it
to
shipped
buy
to
on
them
Amazon,
as
I should
opposed
buy on
to
Amazon. I don't
the
see
alternative of having to drive
Amazon being used throwing
hypothetically
trash into
fucking hours away.
Not
from
hours, right? Like we can narrow this down. We can narrow this down, right? If you're saying like multiple other states, like it's on like it's 2 states away. Okay, great, sure, all right.
No,
Then it's effectively impossible. But like we can narrow it down. I'm trying to like the options have to be viable, right? If the options aren't viable for most people, then it's effectively impossible, right? So we kind of narrow it down.
Really
So it's in your local area, but it's going to take you time, same price, but it's going to take time for it to get to you. You have to go to different areas, right? Maybe not all of them have an online storefront, right? So maybe you have to go outside. I know that part hurts me the most, right? But
That's
go
what I'm
outside,
saying.
interact with people. All those things can happen, but you can get everything that you want, right? So it's just a matter of convenience.
If you have the time spare, you should probably do that. Yeah. Again, I don't think anybody
It's kind of like I'll use my own personal anecdote, for example. Like right now, I'm getting a fucking airsoft gun. What I'm doing, like instead of going through Amazon, I'm actually going through one of my local airsoft stores. But the only reason why I'm able to do that is because I just recently moved to where they're only 20 minutes away, where before they'd be fucking 2 hours away. It'd be a ridiculous drive just to get over there. Like if I was still back in my old location, I probably would go to Amazon because of that convenience.
I agree. Yeah, but that's okay. Let's go Spectre. I've already covered it, but like, don't worry about
It's
it.
almost ridiculous.
Spectre.
No, again though. No, but
Spectre. I hear you. I hear you.
I can wait. It's fine. Smug seems really like he's got something really important to say. So let him go.
All right.
No, but like, no, again though, like,
There was this nigga
because
the
I feel like
other
we
night
keep
on
hitting the
Prime,
same
fam.
point over and over again because
It was just funny.
Because you're not even hearing me. Because I already covered that. Yes, if it's an unviable option, great. I've drawn the scenario. You're not even taking part of that scenario. Yes, it was 2 hours away, and for most people that would be possible if they even have a car, right? But like, if it's in your local area and you can actually engage, I'm trying to narrow this down and get to the heart of the matter of what does convenience mean to you, right? So great. You got it, right?
It was convenient to kill
Spectre.
an old person
Then
before they were gonna
Jess, I
die.
think
So they're gonna die
they had their hand up.
Still,
And then
it's a good thing to do.
Chris and Ajax.
Yeah, so for me, if it's not going to affect your life, like in an adverse way as far as finances are concerned, I think that you do have an ethical responsibility probably not to use Amazon. I think that you have an ethical responsibility to like consume, foods that don't have as much carbon, right? Could possibly make the same argument for going vegan, right? I don't do any of these things, despite the fact that I could. And that is a moral failing on my part, but yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. I don't know how much guilt we can actually assign to people who don't do this, despite the fact that they know they should. Obviously, the corporations are partially at fault, but they are producing with a desire to meet a demand that we as consumers are creating. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's complicated. I don't know where we assign the blame on the supply chain, as it were. But yeah, I'd say even though I don't do this in my day-to-day life, that you have a ethical responsibility to probably do all of those things.
Well, eating, vegan living lifestyle is a blight on humanity. So, why would you engage in that? I don't get that.
Because the planet is
it's
gonna
a blight
burn
on humanity. I'm just kidding. Let's get Jess, Chris, Ajax.
All I'm saying is,
maybe this is like
Don't
a
tell me.
completely ridiculous way of looking at it. But maybe as an analogy, how much ethical
Have faith on
responsibility
them, make the right
does
decisions,
a
and
drug
then,
addict have when they purchase
I told you
drugs
so.
from a dealer?
It does provide the same dopamine hit, getting getting goods sometimes. So it's still training your lizard brain to have the feel good chemical every time that you put that Amazon order in and it shows up the next day.
Like a violent drug dealer or someone who has a supplier that is violent. I guess maybe they're going with that, or maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter if they're violent or not.
And I would say also to a lot of lower income households, they're probably not getting a lot of this backlash news or this worker news in their households. And for them, if they can save money and get it faster, they're gonna do that. Lower income people, aren't really gonna have super nice lives. They're gonna be probably annoyed. They're gonna be most likely
people
at
are
work a
pretty
lot
shitty.
or trying to find work or dealing with a lot of their own issues, especially recently with COVID. So I would say that when it comes to money, because the reason I wouldn't throw my mattress in there is because I'm not spending any of my money. That's just a bit of my time and effort to just pull that mattress a bit further, or a lot further. I think you could argue that because
it doesn't even taste like beer. It just
we
tastes
live in
like
God, I can't say
It
that
just
meme. I hate it, but
A society. Say it. Say it.
we live in a society, an economy. That's way better. Where it just when you're poor, or even middle income, you want to have more money to so you or your family or whatever's going on, you could enjoy it more and have an easier time or get access to just a little bit better of a thing. I think so.
Thank you.
yeah, I just don't know how much like ethical responsibility you can assign, especially when like I think another way is also like these options. This isn't like a gotcha or a defeat, but like you don't really know whether or not those businesses are any better. Like maybe they're more expensive, maybe they're actually cheaper, or maybe like they're cheaper because like they're kind of pushing their employees harder, even if it takes more time. You know, like there's like.
Yeah, we covered this in terms of like what if your local business is also a problem, and that's what how we got here in the first place. But no, we covered that.
Yeah.
But my point is not ethical responsibility. It's do individual actions matter? That's my point. Like, do they matter?
I really think like when it comes to how you're spending your money for like a majority of people and the majority of the situations they're in, I really don't think it does matter.
Right now.
It's okay. So it also doesn't matter if you toss your trash in the ocean then.
Well, it would matter like to some extent, because like you could, without spending any money, just pull that mattress further with some effort. Like, it's not a ridiculous feat. Like, that's something that you can do in a relatively short amount of time. I don't think anything's going to stop you.
And you can go up, because now these are two choices I'm giving you. You can click that Amazon Buy Now button, or you could go 2 blocks, you can walk 2 blocks and go to your local shop and whatever and get that exact same item for the exact same price. So does individual actions matter here?
Is Amazon, because you can't do that.
I guess I personally
Amazon
don't
is a god,
think so, because I think money is a bit more of an important resource, and I think like that person saving it could have a lot more.
No, it's the same price. Same price.
Same price. Oh, same price. Then I really wouldn't care personally. I don't know what that person could know about the business, right?
No. The business is a paragon. You've already investigated the business. It's a paragon, right? Like they're literally like giving, like, part of their profits go to an orphanage, right? Like they're a paragon.
So why would
you have the option? The option is there, but it's simply more convenient. Like you're on the web page. You see the item on Amazon. There's that buy now button. You can get it, and you could have it at your door that day, right? So
despite the fact
click that buy now button
to the building,
we're going over. Like, do individual actions matter? I'm just focusing on that convenience aspect.
Same day,
same price.
But the only difference is you had to take your fat ass outside.
Everything was better. Oh,
I just don't understand what he's talking about.
Jess.
Okay, if everything was better, but like it just like the convenience aspect, right? Like it would take longer for that same thing, same price, all controlled, like better worker environment, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
But and just longer. Personally, I would think so.
NFT.
I just can't like.
Think so? Think so? What does that mean? Think so? What?
Like, I would personally say.
This is fire, Nigel.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
like,
good luck.
You should probably do that.
I don't know what it is. It's
there's
gonna be
no
an NFT
reason
though.
I would see
Shop
that
locally.
you can't.
Shop locally.
But what if the thing that you wanted to buy, or that
What'd you do
person
with-
wanted to buy, was something important? They needed it that next day.
Hello?
Like, they were like, oh shoot, Amazon gives giving me a free Prime trial, and they could give me this phone charger like next day, so I can be charged for work because my freaking phone's not charged. I wouldn't say that's like that's happening a lot, but that is like a situation I've ran into. And that convenience could be quite.
Yo, Nigel, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take a shower.
So
Okay.
I wouldn't condemn it.
I know. That's why. But I'm not asking about like ethical. This is the thing. Okay, so just for everyone else, I'm not asking about the ethical responsibility, right? I'm just wondering about like, do individual actions matter? Right, that's all I'm wondering, and that's why I'm trying to narrow it down and not put like a priority on it, right? Like just talking about the aspect of convenience, right? Like that's why I designed it the way I did, for aspect of convenience.
Well, take away the morals, then no.
The
Individual actions don't fucking matter. If you're just one person doing the thing, it won't make any fucking difference whatsoever.
So you should toss that trash in the ocean, correct?
I mean, obviously it depends on like how big the thing is, right? Like
What difference does it make? There's multiple tons of trash that gets tossed all the time. Like as we're talking, multiple tons of trash are ending up in the ocean right now. So what difference does it make if my thing is large? It's small compared to everything else.
Okay, one person chucking trash in the ocean probably doesn't, on a grand scale, matter at all. Doesn't fucking do anything. Like the difference it makes is so minuscule as to not make any fucking difference whatsoever.
So we should do it.
No.
Why not? I don't.
You're the one. Wait. Sorry, you're the one who said we're not gonna we're gonna take morals out of it, right? And we're gonna just say how much effect does it have, right? On an individual level, it doesn't have much effect at all. It's an infinitesimally small amount of effect. However, as a collective, which is something you also barred from the conversation, as a collective, right? Obviously, it does have a bigger effect. Right?
I didn't bar anything conversation. I'm just trying to talk. No, don't give me that, Vivian. Right? You've done this exact same thing on this exact same fucking panel, talking about like narrowing a hypothetical to get to a point, right? And then you've been frustrated, just as I've been frustrated, and people aren't working within that hypothetical, so that you can get to the point. Oh, I've already did. You've not been listening. All right, moving on. Chris, Ajax, and then finally Jay.
What was the point?
Individual consumerism.
Do you know the point?
I think it definitely does matter. Like even on the smaller scale of you, right? If I'm like omniscient, right, and I'm everyone, right? I have, let's say there's a micro center. This is a big issue. Like when it comes to buying PC parts, right? I'd much rather buy from a micro center. The only thing is, there's one in my town, and it's like 2 hours away. If I myself, right, took the time to just every time I wanted to buy PC parts, go ahead and buy it from Micro Center. Everyone else, right, took that time and did that thing. There would be more Micro Centers popping up. It would be much more convenient for me to like shop at Micro Center other than Amazon, and to like it would create a situation to where like Amazon is like actually less convenient than a Micro Center to go shop at. The issue is like these big companies strong arm us in a way where it doesn't make it impossible, right? But it as a consumer, it makes you feel like it's almost impossible, and it not holding a gun up to your head, right? They're just like it's almost coercive in a way, I think, right? Like you're coerced.
It's almost
like
everything is coercive.
Other than like driving out that way to a Micro Center, to possibly not being able to find the actual item that you actually want, right? Even though it might be there, right? You just don't know. You might drive that 2 hours and be like, you get there, the thing you want is not there. You end up having to settle for a lesser CPU or GPU, and you just feel like, well, fuck, I just wasted my time. Or like I feel like I have to. I can't. If I don't buy something here, I'd just waste all the time. Like gas coming out here, and it puts you in that mindset to like make these choices. Yes, on an individual scale, if like each person decided that it's more convenient to dump their trash in the ocean, that definitely does matter. It like this is the thing that's like causing like these big.
And I'm gonna go to Ajax and Jay, but I think these things do matter. It does matter that when you toss these things into the ocean, because it will do damage. Ajax done a very good job of illustrating that for us, right? It actually does matter. I think all individual actions, these things do matter, but like if we get so caught up in the scale of it, right, and no one does anything because it's too big, well then it just makes sense that if it's just for convenience, and that's the only thing we have to worry about, then you'll end up taking actions, right, that you might otherwise find unjustifiable in another context. So if you think it's unjustifiable to be throwing trash in the ocean, then maybe if you have the option, again, the option there is important, then you should maybe make other choices as well. Let's go to Ajax and then Jay.
Yeah, so like when I was talking about the turtles earlier, like I encourage anyone, if anyone goes to Florida, like Key West specifically, go to the Turtle Museum. You can see all those turtles that are stuck there. They have over 50 that are permanent residents that can't leave. Those are all individual actions. There's no corporation that's plotting, you know, there's no cabal of corporations, you know, trying to keep the turtles down, you know, break their shells. Those are all individual people that cause those turtles to be there. And like, if we're talking about no morals aside on whether like someone can afford it or be inconvenienced enough, depending on like their socio-economic state, individual actions will always matter. You can just look at corporations that people are funding out in Southeast Asia that are polluting into the waterways, and then very, very poor people that survive off the fish from these waterways get poisoned, they develop diseases, they even sometimes die. This is a big problem in Southeast Asia and areas like Indonesia, etc. All those corporations are causing that. You're essentially funding them. So of course the individual action should matter. The question should never be, do they matter? It's to what level do you care, or what level should you be inconvenienced off these actions?
And finally, Jay.
Oh, that's such a good question, Ajax. I want to think on that one. I agree with you and what Chris was saying. Individual actions do matter. And I don't know. We keep using the example of like a poor person, but if this was like Bezos, you know, dumping his mattress in the ocean, we would all be up in arms about how fucked up that is. Like it doesn't matter. And I think
just because he's rich.
To what Jess was, it sounded what you were trying to say was that like money doesn't matter, but time is a factor in how people spend their time is a factor in how they consume and dispose of goods. And that is something that's socio-economically unique, I think. But if you're rich or
people
poor,
are gonna
you
start
shouldn't be
realizing
fucking
that
throwing shit in the ocean.
money isn't real, time is.
All right. I think we covered it then. And as always, I was right. It just took you all a while to realize it. It just took, I had to beat it into you, right?
Yeah, to strip away the morality and the practicality. And you say that this is a hypothetical meant to demonstrate something in the real world, but like if it doesn't map up to the real world,
no, it does map to the real world. Like it's obviously, it absolutely does. Like
it doesn't
the
though,
whole
because
point,
human beings don't exist in a vacuum.
I didn't say that they did, but like the object of the subject of convenience kept coming up. So we're testing convenience, right?
And factors, and that we all agree that subjectively we would subjectively decide, oh, this type of convenience is okay for this person but not for this other person, and literally we all pretty much agree, got to the same point.
You didn't agree. You didn't agree. People kept saying different things. No, you didn't agree, right? You could say that you agreed, you really didn't agree.
Consider convenient is at an individual level. Like, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but you effectively had made that claim that basically what a person decides is convenient is on an individual scale. Did you not?
Sorry, Ron. Could you say it again? I apologize.
Is convenience determined on an individual scale?
Is convenience determined on an individual scale?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I guess.
Convenience of what?
Okay then.
Convenience of what? But I don't.
Well, say if I'm dumping a mattress, right? Well, depending on how far I am, I'm not dumping that mattress and taking it to the next place.
You're dumping the mattress. Okay, mattresses are heavy. Okay, I've moved many times. Mattresses are heavy. You're dumping the fucking mattress in front of your house. Okay, it's not going that far. Let's be honest.
I'm not dumping. Like I don't. If my mattress is still good enough, I'm taking it with me. Right. I'm not. I can't.
Or that.
The inconvenience of buying another mattress, right? For me, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Crazy.
13-month brain rot. Chat Just say you don't care to the app. How do you say that? There was another trucker woman that, dude, it's all trucker women. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I was watching another TikTok. Where there's a trucker woman who's talking about how like she's driving and then she sees a couple and you know the lady is giving roadhead to her partner and she sees them and then looks the other way, but then they slow down for her to watch and then she's like it's just crazy. There's just like I don't know what the fuck is happening on my For You page, okay? But it is wild. There was a porn star on there, there's an OnlyFans girl on there. I just like my general interests are obviously like horny. There's gonna be some horny shit in there, okay? There is no torture
in one time.
There's gonna be some horny shit in there for sure. But then I like video games. So the videos I start seeing are like literally OnlyFans girls that are talking about how like they're gonna suck their boyfriend's dick or
Bro, TikTok is wild, yo. TikTok is really nuts.
Contact just has strong feelings about Pennsylvania charter schools. That's right. You think that's bad? Watch the driving couple giving a blowjob to her partner with the curtains open outside in the lot in front of our shop. Lol.
Niggas just be doing the most for talk.
Anyway, the problem is like my TikTok feed is just fucking cancer right now. Okay, it's just fucking crazy. I don't know how I got there, but let's get to the real news, okay? Jack Dorsey has left
Twitter.
The I don't know why I was about to say Democratic plantation. Yeah, it's shit like that. It's shit like this. There's like hella fucking trucker ladies out there that are on TikTok.
This is
What is going on?
Thank God for them free showers at the truck stops. Dude, it's so weird, dude. It's so weird. Bro, this is weird. I don't know why I keep getting this shit, dude.
Yeah, sure you don't.
But also, like, that's crazy. I mean, what? Why do I keep getting this stuff? I don't understand why I keep these like these weird, like, you know, sexy truckers. Just kidding. I'm unfollowing.
Chat today. Coming out as a 19-year-old bisexual baby hassle.
Dude, I just want to know.
I want to know the profile that TikTok has like created for me in its algorithm, because because I look at so much eclectic weirdo content. You know what I mean? Like I just look at so many like weird fucking cringe accounts.
Yo, 16 months.
Sometimes I'd be sad.
What is this? Is on. Get off TikTok and play with your friends. No shot. Is your jewel still on your nails? No, both of them fell off. Did you go on hog TikTok all week? Did you do anything to the algorithm? Did that do anything? Yeah, it did. Yeah, I get a lot of fishing videos. I get a lot of hunting videos. Okay. I get a lot of sexy babes that are hunting and fishing.
5 months.
Including the one porn star who's like, one OnlyFans girl who was like, when I ask, you know, let's go fishing, this is what I mean. And then it's just straight up her getting fucked from behind on a boat. But she alludes to it, but she doesn't show it. And I'm like, how the fuck is this on TikTok?
Bro.
Like, that's crazy. Also, where can I find that video? I need to find out more about that TikTok. Cause what's happening? She just wants a fishing partner? That's cool. Like, I mean, I'm not really a fan of fishing like that, but you know, I'll go fucking fishing, dude. I mean, straight up. I've seen that video. I saw it today. Yeah, I saw that this morning and I was like, holy fuck, that's good. And you didn't search for woman fucking on a boat, Kappa? Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's not easy to find. Okay, I could not find it. I looked for it. I could not find it.
This nigga's down horrendous, bro.
I could not find it.
25 months. I needed a father.
Yeah, of course I looked, dude. I wanted to see the full thing. Apparently she shoots like literally porns and then intros the porn on her TikTok. It's brilliant. And then of course anti-sex work G will take it down.
Twitch Prime.
The fact that you tried says it all. I mean, dude, are you not going to? Oh, this is the TikTok, yeah. It has 3.5 million likes, dude.
15 months. Love you, Hassan and chat hassle poggies.
G doesn't run TikTok, lol. Yeah, no, I legitimately thought he ran TikTok, man. Thank you for informing me that he doesn't personally run TikTok. It's this. And it's just like, it alludes to it. It doesn't show anything, right? Which is like, and then you're like, wait, what? What the fuck is this? And then you watch it again. Okay. And apparently, like, how the fuck do they film that?
Some guy is hitting it from the back and filming. I don't understand why.
Poggers,
And again and again and again. On a side note, your new TikTok really popped off. Yeah, I know. So like, yeah, it's just Noel in the comments. I'd rather be swimming. Who the fuck is this guy? Oh, the reason why I wanted to show you this though is, of course, as soon as I saw the TikTok, I looked at the comments. No thanks, fishing is better. Like, yeah, right, dude. Get the fuck out of here. It's Thanksgiving. I'm too busy thanking the Lord for allowing my family and I another day.
Yeah, right.
All the dudes saying they'd rather be catching fish are lying. But there was like a bunch of comments about like, I'm bricked up right now, but nobody will know because there's too many comments. Sending this to your father, that's like a big thing.
Sending this to your father.
She can have her 3 minutes of fun, but after that, we're gonna be fishing all day. What is she doing? The wake is gonna scare the fish. Freaking rookies. We want to catch fish, not STDs. There was like a bunch of people that were, people love hitting on sex workers and they're still jacking off the fishing porn. Yeah, I know. There are entire accounts that are dedicated to people sending these videos to the creators, family members. Yeah, I've seen that.
Catch the bus. Everything hurts.
Bro, you're late to this. I already fapped to this like almost a week ago. Bro, it came out 5 days ago, brother. Like, what did you fap to it before it came out? Shut the fuck up.
Bro, what? I already fapped to this. Like, you know? Like,
wow.
I mean, just the number of people that comment in my TikToks of someone send this to her parents like, I'm 28 years old. Yeah. And it's so weird, like, bro, I literally found the XSA's boat video in like 5 minutes. Yeah, but you... I found the original. Was hoping there would be some actual fishing. Spoiler, there isn't.
I was hoping there was actual fishing, but there's not. You know...
Sussy Hassle, you have a nice Bunsy Hassle, Sussy.
Wait, so you telling me they don't get a nice bass, dude? That's fucked up. That kind of ruins it for me. Anyway, so... Look at this, laying pipe in the lake again. Heckin' park ranger sleeping again. Probably some old lady. So... Anyway, as I was saying... This TikTok is just rotting my brain.
Yeah. Rotting everyone's brain.
Why didn't you upload a TikTok yesterday? Already quit? No, I'll upload one today. Okay. Time to introduce a TikTok segment to the stream. Oh yeah, no, we're doing TikToks every day. I'm so addicted to it, dude. It's fucked up.
Can't wait to test drive the new 2022 Ford.
Man told to wait 10 minutes for pizza, pulls out AK-47. What?
I heard about that the other day. That's just weird.
In the new Hawkeye show, the main girl kicks a guy that is being attacked by a dog. This is anti-human behavior. What do you think about it?
Sucky sucky 10 bucky.
Okay. Let's just get the fuck out of the TikTok. We're in the middle of a fucking show. But if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, then all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5. You can do that for free. Okay? Like, with a Twitch Prime, you can do that for free. That's 2 out of 10. Worst one? No, these are good ass segues. You're fucking coping, dude. You're just mad that they're so good. You're mad because you got. Anyway, Captain Cosmodrome, thank you for the 5. Get the subs as well. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. That was an incredible segue, and you fucking know it. Oh, Return to Talladega is out too. Okay, got it. We'll look at that in a little bit. All right, let's watch Stefan Crowder lose his fucking mind over a brown man becoming the CEO of Twitter. How many weird like anti-brown sentiments are we gonna hear from Steven Crowder? What's the over/under on that?
Where am I with
What are we thinking? No, I ran it already. I ran the ad.
He has no drip.
I'd say over 5.
Because it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be 0. He's gonna say a bunch of shit. And in America, we don't really, it's not like Canada or it's not like the UK. We don't have a lot of creative slurs for like Indian people, you know what I mean? And Asian people. So I wonder, well, I mean, he is Canadian, so he's gonna have a rotisserie plate of slurs that us mere mortal Americans have probably never heard about. So let's find out. Let's learn with Steven Crowder.
Further than that, it's an ideological motive in spite of what should be a profit motive. It wouldn't be excusable if it was profit-driven, but it's not. It hurts their business, and they will do it anyway to get rid of the voices they don't like because...
Yeah, totally, dude. No, that's why all the other social media platforms are doing so well, like the ones that don't have, any sort of TOS, like Parler or Gab or Rumble or whatever the fuck. Yeah, those guys are doing so well.
Because there is a message and an agenda that is more important to Jack Dorsey than even the bottom line. So Jack Dorsey, and you guys can comment on this, why do you think Jack Dorsey is stepping down? We don't have all of the details now.
It's just breaking right now.
This is breaking right now from CNBC. Jack Dorsey is expected to step down as CEO.
Yeah.
Now, it's not known exactly why, but keep in mind, stakeholders, they did try and force him out last year over incredibly slow growth. And keep in mind, he was also, I don't know.
Yeah, stakeholders wanted him to step down because of slow growth. And the only way to accelerate that growth, according to Steven Crowder, is more racism. Okay? I love that. More racism is the way you grow your platform, Jack Dorsey. Obviously, that's how I grew mine. Okay? Why don't you do that too?
I don't know if he was CEO before, but then left and then was back. And they've still been trying to force him out. This morning, I think they've stopped trading. Is that what's been going on?
Yeah, they halted trading on the stock after. This is funny. So they're like, we're kicking Jack Dorsey out. Oh, thank God. Stock jumped up 10%,
jumped 11%.
Yeah, 11%.
What? Like, I better buy in. That's not like when they're like, Steve Jobs might not be around.
Wait. What? Wait, what the fuck? Do they think...
Today's my last day.
Do they think the fucking CEO exiting is ever going to look good for a company and their fucking stocks? Like...
But didn't they just say it?
That is an insane take. The only reason why they would stop it was because it would dip. No matter what. It indicates volatility.
Happy to be here.
It literally indicates volatility in a company and would most likely, again, because of uncertainty and instability, most likely cause people to sell, to panic sell. Actually, in this case, yes, you're actually wrong. I'd be very surprised. I mean, even then, it's like not that significant of a change, regardless, so it doesn't matter. But it dropped at opening and then came up like 1 point.
Forever, and you just watch it go down like Ed Rooney's computer. Like, we might get rid of Jack Dorsey, and everyone's like, "Oh, happy day!" Yeah, the stock goes up.
Well, he's also.
No, I know the investors wanted him out. You are wrong. The investors wanted him out. No, I know that. But no matter what happens, when the CEO leaves, it still, again,
1.5 years, baby,
indicates instability. Like in most instances, especially like, think about it this way. New CEO came in, and now with the new CEO, you got fucking homies looking at his Twitter, like his old Twitter from 2010, and making, writing fucking negative press about him and shit like that. You know what I mean? There's always going to be unknowns there. They halt stocks for big news all the time, regardless of the effect on the stock price. Yeah, that also makes sense.
So he's the CEO of Square, the payment processing company.
Oh,
Their
right.
stock is tanking now because he'll be able to focus full time on them.
Oh, yes.
So,
And because
I'm just saying.
I don't know if-
Anything.
I'm sorry, but this is like a fucking baboon way of analyzing the stock market. Yes, you're right. At a generic S&P 500, but with these new tech giants, it's hard to say. No shot, dude. Look, I'm not like a fucking investor, Andy, but that's so stupid that to think that like yeah, Square stocks are going down because, you know, Jack Dorsey is going to hyper focus on it. Or like Twitter stocks were going to go up a lot because Jack Dorsey's leaving Twitter. You know literally nothing about the stock market? I know enough to say that, like, regardless of whether or not investors want to Jack Dorsey out, that a CEO announcing his exit or being forced out creates uncertainty. So when there's uncertainty, it doesn't matter. It still causes people to panic sell, especially because we don't know who the new CEO is. It's just human behavior. They're just trying to twist the headlines and read the tea leaves in the most manipulative way possible. I don't get it.
Thing he touches, he's like Charlie Brown. Oh, anything I touch turns to ruins. He hasn't done well for anything. And this is something that I've talked about in the past. People often say it's a profit motive. Now, you can say that with right now, and it's very dangerous that our film industry is catering to China, right? Whereas the Chinese government is creating anti-American.
Are you saying there are market fundamentals? There's no real reason. What I described to you is not market fundamentals. What I described to you is literally the opposite of market fundamentals. It is the reason why the concept of like fundamentals is negligible. And that is human behavior is erratic, human behavior is irrational, and ultimately human behavior will lead to people saying, oh, there's instability here, fuck this, I'm out, without properly vetting the new CTO or whatever the fuck, and without looking into, oh yeah, I'm a wise investor, and actually Jack Dorsey was like destroying Twitter, and now it's actually going to be good, so I'm even buying more fucking stocks of Twitter. Like that's what I mean. Because I don't believe in the fundamentals. How many times have I shit on fucking Tesla? Why would you think I believe in market fundamentals at all? It's actually the opposite. That's precisely why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Propaganda videos. And with these people right now who work with social media, what's really dangerous is they are catering to international interests, and they're not actually taking into account the country that allowed them to become Twitter in the first place, or Facebook and Google. And so it's a real problem where these platforms aren't actually able to fulfill the purpose they were designed to fill.
Yeah.
So it genuinely is a problem right now, and Jack Dorsey has done incredibly poorly. We don't know exactly what it is, but let me give you kind of a few of the quick hits of Jack Dorsey. Remember this? He was grilled by Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Twitter decided to, and
the wise and brilliant CEO, investor Andy Steven Crowder here, getting upset that an international company is catering to international interests. Which, of course, he's probably trying to dog whistle and say, like, you know, they're catering the Chinese interests or some shit, okay? But, like, it's so fucking stupid. Oh, wow. I can't believe these, like, faceless, lifeless megacorps are catering to international interests instead of my own personal brand of American interest, which happens to revolve around white supremacist attitudes not getting banned off the platform. Shut the fuck up, dude.
their stock didn't do very well when this happened. This is one of the values of seeing a publicly traded company. They banned the Hunter Biden laptop story. We know now statistically there were polls where Americans said if they knew about that story.
Yeah, and that's precise. Wait, what? Wait, that's the reason. The Hunter Biden laptop story is the reason why Twitter is going down, dude.
It would have changed their vote. Yeah. Enough Americans would have changed their vote, even assuming safest, most secure election in American history.
Yes.
It still would have swung the election for Donald Trump had Facebook.
Yeah, dude. We've run. We have our quants here at the Louder with Crowder podcast. Run the numbers, and if more Americans saw how fucking fat Hunter Biden's cock was, as a matter of fact, Donald Trump would have won because of sheer jealousy by the American electorate. That's right, folks. Yeah, they applied all the different kinds of analyses to figure out, you know, that Hunter Biden's laptop story, if it got out on Twitter, it would have swayed the election. Okay, first of all, that was the worst October surprise, so much so that it was disappointing to see. Okay, it was incredibly disappointing to see. I mean, it was fun for me because I love Hunter Biden, and seeing him out and about and getting to know more about Hunter Biden, who I stan, was a wonderful experience. Okay, he's the man. Now, having said that, this idea that like the Hunter Biden laptop, which was straight up just people trying as best as they could to manipulate the information that they saw in definitely hacked materials, okay, definitely, without a shred of a doubt, I believe that, is silly as fuck. There was nothing. There was literally nothing there, other than the made-up stories that right-wingers kept trying to claim were like a huge issue, like the big guy. It means Xi Jinping. It's like, no, it doesn't. No, it literally doesn't. So much so that they tried to fucking cancel Hunter Biden because he uses the N-word in his like private text messages or something. Like, which is of course, again, fucked up, certainly. But like, if you think that that is going to sway the outcome of an election, you have lost your fucking mind. Okay? Like you.
I would hope so.
Think that that is going to, you know, that was the big fucking secret for you, is that like, you know, Hunter Biden says the N-word?
Yeah,
with a, or was it, isn't that what he said? What was it? I don't know.
Chat.
Oh man, Hunter Biden, think motherfucker. He called his lawyer. Yeah, he said my N-word to his lawyer.
7 months. Let's get this
funny.
shit.
Anyway, by the way, yet another great example of why you shouldn't say the N-word even in private. No, not with a hard R, with a soft A, but still. Are we supporting Hunter saying the N-word right now? No, we are not supporting that, you fucking dumbass.
Twitter, Google not decided to ban the Hunter Biden laptop story. Here's Jack Dorsey being grilled by Senator Ted Cruz.
So let me ask you, was Twitter being a publisher?
Oh God! Oh,
when it
trigger
censored the New
warning!
York Post?
Trigger warning! Ted Cruz famously loves to shop at Brandy Melville.
No, we have very clear policies on.
Bro, what the fuck? That's my CEO, dog.
Poggers.
We're getting diminishing returns. Oh no, maybe Ted Cruz should have grilled him more on why do my likes show up on 9/11 is liking a little bit of porn-a-rooney. Okay, that was not me, sir. Twitter lied about me liking porn-a-rooney on that. Blade Runner vibes. I mean, dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but bro, when you're fucking CEO,
you can do whatever you want.
When your CEO
You can get the Rick Rubin.
has a nose ring like that, it's over. It's GG's. How maybe Steven Crowder is right. Maybe Twitter stock is going to go through the fucking roof, okay? Now that they have a CEO with no nose ring, okay?
The conduct we enable on the platform, and if there's a violation, we take enforcement action, and people choose to commit to those policies and to those terms of service.
He looks like he's about to have sex with the czar's wife. Yeah, he looks like he takes a little bit of arsenic every morning. to make sure that, you know, when someone tries to poison him, his body has developed enough immunity to the arsenic. He does. He looks like he has a fat cock that's in a fucking... that's in a jar somewhere, pickled.
The fuck? What the fuck does this?
He looks like he would survive getting shot like 1,000,000 times.
Except your policies are applied in a partisan and selective manner. You claim it was hacked materials, and yet you didn't block the distribution.
Ryan Grimm had a different take than you on the Hunter Biden story. Have you heard his take? Ryan Grimm's take is correct. Okay? That it was absolutely censorship. Not allowing, picking and choosing hacked materials not to reveal or not to distribute is ridiculous censorship. I do agree with that. Okay? I just don't agree that it would be a fucking election-changing October surprise. Notice how I was only talking about the election-changing October surprise shit? That's ridiculous. Twitter actually engaging in literal censorship, on the other hand, is preposterous, and they did do that shit. Straight up. That is true. That is absolutely true. So Ryan Grimm is correct on that analysis. Even Glenn Greenwald is correct on that part of his analysis when they say it's fucked up that it's fucked up that Twitter would just like stop the distribution of this story dead in its tracks because they chose that being they chose that was a fucking hacked material. Hacked material gets released on Twitter regularly. I don't think you should stop hacked material from being distributed as long as it's not like porn or as long as it's not like incredibly private information. Okay?
Can you hear me? Yo, can you hear me? Oh,
Yo.
Yo.
What you said? Nah, I just joined.
Oh.
I just joined.
Good.
I told 3 and Freddie to join the stream or join the Discord if they want.
Okay.
This nigga Julian already left?
Yeah.
You know what? You never guessed.
Recently, I helped a customer get money for fertility treatments to start a family. It's your money, and you have to use it now.
Give me a sec, ma. Yo, I'm here, Nigel. Give me a sec. One, ma.
I'm faster.
Where is a payment processor, you fucking dingus? Oh my god, dude, what a fucking dumb. Oh no.
And then whatever. Mario Speed. Oh, okay, I'll go there. Until they found out that, it just led to.
And not only that, but then he's like, oh, then it happened. There was a lot of rapes because of it. Is that even
Molly,
true?
stop.
What the fuck? I mean,
Let's go, Brandon.
Foursquare as an application is weird, okay? Don't get me wrong. I do.
I'm about to put
I
the
don't
stream
see
back
utility
up.
in it.
This
I
for
do
some
see-
reason
I do
the
think that
screen
it's, like, weird,
froze.
but I don't know if it led to a record amount of rapes, dude. It's just Geo bragging. Geo bragging. Why are you assuming there's implicating material of Joe Biden or his campaign on the laptop? Maybe there isn't. Maybe Joseph Robinette Biden isn't actually as corrupt as Trump. Wait, what? First of all, Joseph Robinette Biden is just as corrupt as Donald Trump is. He's just not as fucking stupid as Donald Trump is. He's an old school politician. Most politicians are as evenly corrupt as Donald Trump is. Nepotism is still going on in the fucking White House, in the administration as well. Okay, that's a ridiculous fucking assumption to make. Just the only difference is Donald Trump is a fucking idiot and never really thought that he needed to cover his tracks or go through the proper channels when he's doing corruption and doing it in a way that is above board. And that was the main difference. Secondly, even if it's not like directly fucking I don't know, material that like implicates Joe Biden or whatever the fuck, it could still be information that is in the interest of the public to know about or even speculate on. But we never really fully got the picture because the only
still
kind of
just
information that came out from the Hunter Biden laptop story was largely led by psychotic right-wingers who just wanted to fucking lie and say that like Hunter Biden is a pedophile. And it came out that like those photos with him and like underage girls was actually photos with him and his fucking cousins or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's like it was
Yo, Nigel, it's still just a black screen.
It like comes in and out. Like I just saw you at the car.
So that is bullshit. Joe Byron! Yeah, it is Joe Byron.
Give me a sec.
NLRB approved second election of Bessemer, Alabama. Hell yeah. That's good news. RWDSU's full statement is here. Okay, let's get back to this though.
Record amounts of rape. Oh, jeez. Yeah. That's terrible.
Hunter Biden still isn't a good guy. Yeah, I mean he's a complex individual. Okay, he does have a fat hog though, and he wants sex workers to unionize. So, you know how conservatives always say like, "Oh, dude, if you like these people so much, why don't you open your home to one and like house them?" It's like Hunter Biden literally did that. Okay. And I'm not saying he's a good guy.
Alright, Nigel, do you see it now?
I'm just saying he's a cool guy. Okay, he is my favorite salesman.
Yeah. Fake murder, doxing. We shouldn't do this so much. So, the purpose of it was supposed to be okay.
Do you believe he traded favors in Ukraine and China? I believe he traded his name. Yes. I think Hunter Biden, while being a fucking major fail,
Nah, it'd be my connection because it'd be going in and out
a
sometimes.
bunch of foreign corporations into believing that he had any fucking sway whatsoever with the Obama administration because of his last name. That's it. And people were dumb enough to give him the fucking the moolah that he doesn't deserve. Yeah, if you think that Hunter Biden absolutely did not, traffic his last name in getting a fucking job at like Burisma or getting like diamonds from fucking Chinese emissaries or whatever the fuck, you're psychotic. Of course he did. He's a Yale lawyer. Shut the fuck up, dude. He's literally an ape.
You still see it, right?
Shut the fuck up. He has failed upwards his entire life because of his last name and because who his father is. Let's be fucking real. Oh my god.
Alright.
And let's not forget, he has a fat cock, okay? Which is very important to the story. He's a mad dog with a fat hog. I would love to interview Hunter Biden. I would die to interview him. It'd be so sick.
Yo, give me a second. Let me
bypass the gatekeepers. That's why Twitter developed. Speak directly with your fans.
Like you and your uncle? Exactly.
That's the value that Twitter would bring. That's the currency. So when you look at the series of answers from Jack Dorsey, where he's unable to articulate his point of view on the sole value, the currency that Twitter provides, that's when you see the stock take a nosedive. Not to mention the inconsistency. So Tim Pool brought...
Dude, I'm sorry, but you are literally the dumbest person, okay? This is why the hyper, capitalist, pro-capitalism defenders genuinely cannot comprehend capitalism, okay? They don't understand how to do good capitalism. Holy fucking shit, brother. Jack Dorsey appearing in front of Congress is bad in and of itself, okay? That's going to cause a dip in the stock price, no matter what happens, okay? Because again, it shows that the government is scrutinizing this fucking business. But if you think that like the decision to like purge fucking bot accounts or the decision to, I don't know, not allow hate speech or some hate speech on the platform is legitimately the reason why the stock is taking a nosedive, you're a fucking dumbass. No, dude. The reason why it's taking a nosedive, or rather not growing as much, is because there are plenty of untapped revenue opportunities that Twitter has that it hasn't fucking utilized, okay? That's it.
Yeah, my connection is carbs.
Like different methods of subscribing and different methods of generating more revenue that they are simply not using. Thank you, Healthy Gamer GG Dr. K, for the fat raid. I hope you had a good stream. We are currently talking about the Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey stepping down and right-wing reactionaries losing their minds over it and trying to, fit their narrative into this conversation in perhaps the stupidest way that you can do. Anyway, as I was saying,
to stretch more, and when I tried it, yeah, I'll film a lot for you, Dojo. I'll make your own. I'll make you a special video, okay? We'll see if I can get it set up and all that shit correctly. Nice jacket you got there. Yeah. You know how fun Twitter Spaces are? I haven't used it at all yet. I applied for special.